What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode. I picked up a new hobby. Gardening! It feels nice to feel like I'm accomplishing something that I'm eventually going to mess up. I just wish there was a way that I could experience all the fun that botany has to offer on a portable device. Oh, Jesus Christ, thank f***. Animal Crossing New Horizons, your home away from home, where you can experience all the facets of financial responsibility right from the comfort of your living room couch. How is a game about paying off an imaginary debt to a tanuki, not a raccoon, so infectious? And more importantly, why am I just now talking about this game over an entire year later? Negligence. On paper, a game series like Animal Crossing shouldn't be as successful as it is. You can plant flowers, pay off a debt, and become the mayor of your own island. Woo. But with the Nintendo touch, a splash of creativity, and a worldwide crisis causing all of planet Earth to shut down for a year, Animal Crossing New Horizons has quickly become the best-selling game in the series, one of the best-selling games of all time, and is on the path to overtake Mario Kart 8 as the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch. With 31 million copies sold, continuous updates, and a fan base that's still in an uproar because they didn't bring back a chair, it is amazing that this game has been able to accomplish everything that it has. But that leaves me with the question of, is this game still worth it? Now, I haven't touched my copy in 9 months, and since we're just past the anniversary, I thought now would be a perfect time to see if this game is still good. Now, for the record, Animal Crossing New Horizons is sort of my first Animal Crossing experience. See, Animal Crossing released in Japan on the Nintendo 64 in 2001, before coming to America the following year on the GameCube. I ended up picking up the original game shortly after, as long as you say that shortly after is about 15 years later. I don't know why I skipped out on this phase. I think it's because I didn't grow up with people who played the original game. Then we get to 2005, where we get to Wild World, a DS entry and a boy that didn't own a DS. 2008 came around, and City Folk came to the Wii, a system that I didn't own at the time. Can you guess what happened in 2013? I could never get my hands on the game, so in 2016, I found it in a pawn shop and I bought Animal Crossing for the GameCube, played the hell out of it for 5 hours in one sitting, and then my save file corrupted. Look, I'm not trying to avoid this game, but apparently the world wants me to. Now, I'm not saying this to give off my personal story. I mean, I am, but it's more to say that I've never played the original games. I have nothing to compare this to, so if New Leaf did something better, I have no way of actually knowing that. So with that being said, in March 2020, I finally got my first-hand experience with the Animal Crossing series. Everybody I knew was playing it, so I picked it up on launch day, got this cute little bell bag, played almost 200 hours, and then I haven't touched it since. Now, I didn't stop playing because New Horizons was bad. In fact, I had a lot of fun playing it. It was a nice pick up and play title. It's just, I got way too busy doing far more bigger and more important things. You're welcome. But that changes today. I'm finally gonna pick up New Horizons for the first time in almost a year and see exactly where this game has left off. I have no shame whatsoever. This is Animal Crossing New Horizons, and for those that don't know, it is a social simulation game that utilizes real-life time, meaning if it's 9:19 in the game, that means it's 9:19 in the real world. Unlike other games where you can slog through a marathon in 20 hours, Animal Crossing is far more casual. It's meant to be what you come home to after a long day of working to pay bills, to turning on your Switch and working to pay bills. So when you come back after 9 months and your villager says, "It's been 9 months, right?" I'm sorry, it has been 9 months. I put 255 hours into Super Mario 35. Do you think I have time to cut the grass? I see landscaping doesn't exist here. You have to upkeep your islands, make sure that weeds don't start overgrowing, flowers stay under control. You even have to make sure your villagers are happy all the time. Like, I can't even keep up with my friends in real life. You expect me to do this in a game? Alright, I know I'm giving this game a bit of a hard time, but honestly, I think that all of this is completely worth it. When you see all of this come together to create your own island, it really feels special. You got to name this island yourself. Go as far as create your own town tune. It really makes you feel like you're in charge of a community. Now, 9 months ago, I was playing this game on an everyday basis. I felt like I did a really good job of my community for someone who's never played Animal Crossing before. I had a nice little community plaza that was reminiscent of an outdoor patio, and I even made my own music room. So coming back, I am so upset with this. Like, I have so much empty space here. I could have done so much with it, but I just stopped. I think my main problem with games like these is you get rewards for each day that you continuously come back. and mechanically, I do think that's really neat. Nook Miles especially, the more you do a task, the more rewards you get. They aren't mandatory, but they give you this sense of progression, like you're actively doing something. But when you stop for just a single day, you lose that desire to want to come back, and I know a lot of people who are fans of Animal Crossing have gotten to that point. You really want to continue building your island, but you get another game that you're really addicted to. This is when your daily island life becomes less of a relaxing vacation and more of a task. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The consequences aren't too drastic. It's not like if you skip a day, you have to bury one of your villagers. I didn't visit my island for 10 months and now I have to pull up weeds. I'm mortified. This makes the game far more accessible to come back to. I find a lot of times that if I step away from an RPG for 2 or 3 months and come back, I have no idea where I left off. If you come back in Animal Crossing, you're at your front door with mail. It doesn't get much simpler than that. This approach works really well. Coming back, I thought I would have been punished a lot more for leaving so long, but it was really easy to just jump back into the swing of things. I want to do a lot more with this game, but am I going to put this game back down again and not touch it for another 9 months? Probably. Now, there is a lot of things that I love about New Horizons and a lot of things that I don't. For one, coming back and experiencing this again is a charm. I forgot how relaxing this game can be. I used to play games like My Sims Kingdom a lot in my youth. I loved having that level of creativity, being able to customize your ideas and vision to fit your style and passion. This took me right back to my childhood. I could have a purple bed or a blue bed. Ooh, I can even have a green bed. Yes, you can customize almost everything in New Horizons. Of course, you can customize everything in your house, but you can also create your own personal designs and upload them to use in the game. The quality isn't the best, but in most cases, it can be recognizable. Like, I customized the entirety of my basement, and it honestly didn't take too long. All you have to do is use your phone to scan a QR code, and boom, your object is in the game. I had a lot of fun with this, especially in the clothes department. Of course, you have a myriad of options to choose from already, but some of the designs people come up with are amazing. I can essentially become all of my favorite characters. And some of the things people do with this are insane. Being able to replicate an entire game out of your island. I would love to try my hand at this, but no. I just don't have that amount of time on my hands. And why is that, you ask? Because everything in this game takes so damn long to do! Yeah, I've had one major complaint about Animal Crossing since the very beginning, and that's that everything takes forever to do. If I wanted an item in Nook's Cranny, I'd have to wait for it to show up in the shop, buy it, have it delivered, wait an entire day, and then I'd finally get it. I can buy this shit faster in real life! Yeah, this game has a lot of unnecessary bullshit. Naturally, when you develop a game you're supposed to play regularly, you need to give people an incentive to come back. But it takes far too long to complete a lot of these tasks in this game. If I want to build a fence, not only do I have to find a recipe, but I have to find all of the items, keep them in my inventory, because for some reason, if you're crafting a house, the game doesn't allow you to grab items from the storage that are surprise in your house. This is just what I like to call artificial game lengtheners, and personally, the most likely thing to piss me off in any game ever. Animal Crossing has this continuous problem of putting in a false sense of longevity to make the game feel longer than it actually is. If I'm finished with a game and have paid off my debt, why does my axe keep breaking? There is no in-game purpose for this. If I can shove a giant pole into the ground every 5 seconds, tell me, why does my watering can break? Also, all of these key items could have easily been put in the selection wheel and be perfectly fine. This would have actually given you more space in your pocket since the first whole row is typically just dedicated to these items. Now look, I know I'm being a bit harsh, but you can't tell me this didn't get annoying at least once during your playthrough. When I'm in the middle of crafting something on my islands, the last thing I want is to get interrupted while I'm in the middle of doing something. While I do enjoy this game, these frustrations make it hard for me to want to get back into it. If a game wants me to make an investment into what it has to offer, the game needs to allow me to make that investment and make me actively want to come back and play it. If you're going to artificially lengthen your game, I would much rather you add additional content to have people coming back month after month to enjoy all this game has to offer. They gave us a fucking bunny! Animal Crossing updates. When the game came out, we were promised free updates with new content coming periodically. And they haven't failed to deliver yet, whether it be a Christmas celebration or a nightmarish demon from hell. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Easter event, not just because the bunny reminded me of the monsters that periodically show up in my nightmares. Hell. but I felt the update was just Easter eggs everywhere. As for the other updates, I have no idea what happens. Come on, I can't replay these events. It's not like I've discovered time travel yet. But that's what the good old internet is for. Animal Crossing gave us a healthy string of updates throughout the year, adding new content for seasons and new gameplay mechanics. In summer, we got deep sea diving. You could throw on a wetsuit and go diving for seashells that can be given to Blathers for the museum. This isn't exactly what I was expecting, but it is kind of neat, I guess. I can't say I haven't wondered what's out there in the ocean. But later on, we got fireworks and Luna, a mysterious elephant that can transport you to the dream world. This, in my opinion, was the best update for New Horizons. You can upload your island online and allow people to visit your island any time of day. I had a ton of fun with this when I came back. Not only does it allow you to gather different ideas of what you want your island to look like, but it also makes you remember that, wow, my island looks like ass. Also, now you can back up your island to the cloud. I don't know why this wasn't available day one. But most of the rest of the updates since then haven't been anything groundbreaking or worth talking about. We got some new hairstyles and reactions, and these are great customizations, but this doesn't give us additional things to do. Yeah, we can continue building our islands and collecting things for the museum, but that can get stale for a lot of people, and it can happen fairly quickly. There is so much room for improvement in my eyes. I'm sure that with the Animal Crossing formula, there's a ton of stuff you can do here. How about taking a ship to the mainland where you can trade and interact with strangers to get new items? I feel like mini games would be a really fun addition to New Horizons, not you. I feel with the amount of stuff available in New Horizons that there is a lot that you can do here. You could bring back the Puzzle League minigame from the final update for Animal Crossing New Leaf, and please Nintendo, I'm literally begging at this point for more Puzzle League representation. Aside from in-game updates, could we please step it up on the dialogue options for villagers? I've played this game for the last 5 days, and Isabelle always tells me there's no updates and says the same thing she said 9 months ago. All of these villagers just say the exact same thing every time I talk to them. I get that they wanted to include as many villagers as possible from older games, but I would rather have less villagers and more text options. Plus, is it really that hard to add text to the game? These characters don't have real voice acting. I'm sure it can't be that difficult. Despite my criticisms, I do think there's a lot of fun to be had with New Horizons. Personally, I would make a lot of changes, but I do think there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. And honestly, I think it would be fun to kind of start all over again. Although I don't have any intention of reliving my island experience, I can't state how enjoyable it was for those first couple of weeks, creating my own island and sharing it with my friends. Yes, I may have rearranged it about 16 different times, but there are a million different ways to create your island, whether you want it to feel more suburban or even like a farm town. It's your creativity that you're being allowed to express with your friends and others across the world. Which is why when I think about that feeling of satisfaction when you find another item that fits your island's puzzle piece, it's honestly something I wouldn't mind reliving again. I won't deny, it would be absolutely annoying to go through getting all the bells and items again, but that's oddly part of the charm to it. Animal Crossing, like I stated before, isn't a game where you slog 50 hours into it in 1 week. It's a simple pick up and play title that allows you to express your creative freedom and gives you something to look forward to on a day-to-day basis. When you work for weeks to pay off your house, resulting in it taking that much longer to do it, it gives you that much more of a sense of satisfaction when the task is finally complete. Speaking of completing tasks, it has been about 15 minutes. I guess I better see how my gardens do. How do you f that up? The game needs to allow me to make that investment in the first place by allowing me to actively